Hello? Is it working? I hope it is. Wait 1 second. There we go. There we go. Oh my God. Hello, hello. How's it going? All right, let me do my little... We're not going to talk about past few weeks, but I have a hard stop limit, so max $250. I'm thinking about starting a series. So what it is I analyze the market. I have 5 minutes to analyze and take a trade. It's going to be a funded account. It's going to be a daily thing. So that's my thing, what I'm looking at. So we'll see if that works out. This is liquidity down here, if you guys can see. Dude, I'm trying to figure out how to... There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. All right, there we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So we have liquidity right down here. Let me get some music on. There we go. Perfect. Sorry about that. All right, so we have obvious liquidity down here. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? All right, and then we have a area where we could bounce off of. So the lowest point I would want to see it bounce, a body close, is down here. And the reason why is, you know, if we're looking at liquidity, we still are making higher highs and higher lows, right? Based off market structure. So we have that. We have our previous high up here. So this would be the higher time frame target. I can't really go higher than 5,000, so we'll see. But currently just bearish until we move down past this liquidity point, and then bullish. So my hypothesis, what I'm looking at, how much money? Not much, dude. I mean, start trading free. You do simulated accounts. I really recommend it, or else you could lose thousands. Or you could buy prop firm challenges for $45 and use it as practice for 30 days at a time. So max you would lose per year until you get good at it is maybe $400. Still a lot of money, but way better than putting money into an individual investment while learning. Now, once you get, you know, you get some sort of stability, then you put it into a individual investment is a lot better. So you trade your own personal account. Funded accounts are a lot more difficult to sustain because they have rules, even when you get your funded account, to try to make people fail. I think the statistics are like 95% of people don't withdraw money from funded accounts ever. But it's a good practice. It's a good practice tool for risk management. So, and it's a lot cheaper than putting money into your own account, which you might be inclined to blow. Also, what's really nice. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? If you can see, I don't know if you can see, this is the current funded account I'm working on right now. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can get the market limit loss to show. If you look up here on my screen, I have a market limit loss up here. So I can set it to the max amount I lose per day now. And I have to do that because of, you know, you don't want to take the risk of losing the whole funded account. I had to do that because my impulsivity was getting really bad recently. So I kind of nerfed my ability to trade more than $250, and it's been working out a lot. Here's my statistics so far. 63%. This is just on this account, so it limits 250. The 2 days I've won, this is where I'm currently at for both days. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, today's a really easy market, which has been very nice, because usually Fridays and Wednesdays are pretty difficult markets for NASDAQ. This is NASDAQ MNQ. But how's it going, SG? But yeah, if you guys have any questions throughout it, I usually do pretty quick streams. I'm going to start I guess a more interesting, I think my type of trading is better for shorts, honestly. I trade on a very low time frame usually, so the 500 ticks. So this is what I look at to trade. The speed, I could take any one of these trades. This is for example, what I would look for right here is we just grab this liquidity right here. I do believe we're moving down to this liquidity zone down here, if you can see. So therefore, what I'm looking for is potentially just a quick break of structure down to here, a retest back into this previous area right here, maybe grabbing this liquidity before we break down up here. So doing something like this. Breaking this liquidity, and then from here, I'm looking to work up. And that's kind of my plan for this pattern. I don't want to take a bearish trade since our trend is generally bullish. I make that mistake a lot, so just be careful. Be careful when you are trading. You want to make sure to always, your strategy has the biggest edge when it goes in favor of the higher time frame, and you need to know how much the higher time frame impacts your trading. And what I mean by that is, for example, this whole market structure right here might not mean a single thing. All I really need to look at if I'm trading on that 500 tick time frame or 100 tick time frame, which is 10 times a lower time frame than the 5,000 tick. A lot of people use the minute time frame, so this would be the minute, right? This would be the 15 minute. But unlike the 100 tick time frame or something else in general, other time frames I do trade. For example, this might be a setup right here. No, it didn't give it to me. Never mind. But on these time frames, it's 10 times. My higher time frame is 10 times increased in my lower time frame. So what I know is if I'm trading 100 tick in the 5,000 tick, like if it's less volatility, then I might only look at the past like minor structure right here. But since it's only 10 times, I tend to look a little bit higher here, and you'll see that mistake. I still make this mistake a lot. You can see it on past streams or anything like that. I have really good days. I have days where I forget what the fuck I'm doing. So just be very aware of what, you know, when you're trading, what that means. But yeah, in general, like to answer that question more thoroughly, to start trading, you don't need much capital, or realistically you should do practice accounts until you're at least consistent for 2 months, and do it as a hobby. You need to have interest in it. If you don't have interest in it, then first of all, you're going to be impulsive. Second of all, you're not going to want to learn and educate yourself, which, for example, you can see all these strategies on YouTube, and yeah, they might work, but your edge is never going to really be there because a lot of people are trading these strategies already, one. And two, you have to know when your strategy is poor and when your strategy is, you know, your strategy is strong. And if you don't stick with a specific strategy, you bounce around, you're looking for something like the best next hype strategy, then you're never going to get good at the one you're trading. And if you don't take time on the charts, you're never going to know the ins and outs of what's strong with it, what's weak with it, right? When you're going to get screwed over. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. My strategy is down here. This is a very simplified version in order to get an idea of what I do. You know, you need to look at it. You gotta watch a little bit more in detail. There's several people that trade a similar version of my strategy. Mine just has a lot more rules associated with it, but I'm able to have more rules because I trade on a time frame that moves quicker than the 1 minute time frame. It's about 30 seconds, 45 seconds. If you look right here, for example, each candle's roughly about 20 to 30 seconds. And then if I go to this time frame, each candle is roughly about 5 seconds. But my strategy is pretty easy to catch on it.
Save on great gifts and
oh god, ads. Oh my god.
Market. There
but yeah, main priority for me is, oh, here we go. We might get an entry in a second, potentially. I want to look at the 500 tick. And make sure this is accurate first. It didn't give me an entry. Sucks. I could do the 1,000 tick, potentially. This is also not a bad entry. Let me scroll out. We do have liquidity down here. I do hope that this moves up. I know you guys can see. Sorry if I move like very quick with my. I have a lot of not anxiety, but you know, I like double checking before I enter a trade. So the screen might pop around really quickly. I apologize about that. Here's a setup right here. I'm going to enter with 2 contracts. I'm going to target this liquidity. No, I'm going to target higher. And I'm going to add if it comes back down, if it retests down further. But this is exactly where I wanted to see. It probably will. I'm probably going to put my stop down here. Even though this is my setup right here. I don't know how far that could necessarily go, so I want to be careful. But I'm going to put my stop down here because I think this is going to be a fake out. Grab the liquidity down here and then show my setup again. That's what my belief is. So I enter 2 contracts as a temporary entry, and then I'm going to enter more contracts in 1 second. Whenever it gives me a better setup. I'm pretty bullish on this. I mean, this could come and grab this liquidity down here before a bounce, and that would be unfortunate. But I do want to see this come back into this previous structure and fail. And if that doesn't work, oh well, I'm going to get stopped out for $98. But I'm going to wait for a further confirmation. Hey, how's it going, Papo? Palpo? Palpo. Palpo. Yes, that's what I'm going to go with. So that's your name now. But yeah, this is gonna, hopefully this is gonna work. I'm just gonna look for a setup. I'm gonna look for a change of structure on the 100. This is also partially, I was looking on my other screen right here. This is partially why I didn't enter more. It's just for the pure reason of this gap right here. So that's why I do think this is gonna fail this initial entry, and then it potentially might move up further. It might fake people out. Fake people that this is going to be balanced, grab this liquidity down here and then move up. We did not even fully fill that gap yet, so that's fun. Got a minor entry right here for a bear structure. This would be a minor setup. Not a strong one at all, but it would be a minor setup. For a 1 to 2. Based off my strategy. This is technically liquidity, and I don't think that we're going to push up that far. Oh, sorry. This is meant to be up here. Oops. I might take this. I should have taken it. I do think this gap is going to fill, but, you know, if this comes up and grabs this top structure, oh well. I didn't enter this trade anyway. I still have a way larger bias than this, so that's going to move up. So not really taking that short position, but this could technically be an entry because the general recent trend is down. Let me show you guys exactly why. Hey, how's it going? Let me show you exactly why. This little gap that we have right here, right? So this one might not actually work out. It's actually going in my favor. That's unfortunate. I kind of wanted a better entry. No? Well. That didn't work out. Well, that's fine. Let's see how this reacts. I want to see how far this thing is going to push. By the way, I'm thinking about, I need to figure out the specifics of it, guys. I'm thinking about creating a series. Basically, it's going to be based off on a funded count challenge. I'm going to have 5 minutes to analyze the market each day, and then I have to take a trade within that 5-minute time frame. So I'm going to set a timer. It's going to have 5 minutes, take a trade. It's going to be sped up, you know, in a YouTube short, or maybe I'll make it a video. And then it's going to be a daily thing. So that's my plan for all of summer, or at least for a month of trying it out to see if it works out. Okay, now we're showing the bearishness right here. And then we come back down to grab that liquidity down here. Moving back down to here, at least, maybe further. There you go, we tapped that. Like I said, I think this was going to be a fake out, but maybe not. Maybe we'll pull up higher. Maybe we'll end up holding. Could add to this position now.
Order filled.
I feel a little bit more comfortable, and then I'll add one more partial in a second. My stop loss limit is 500 profit for today because I want to at least have a 1 to 2. So that means my my pattern day trading loss, basically I can lose max $250 in a day. So that means if it's 780, I think I could set a trailing stop loss. Am I correct on that? Oh, enable trailing. Yeah, you can. Maybe I might start doing that. That might be better for funded accounts, but we'll see. We'll see if this thing works up. I'm going for a 1 to 2 on this. I don't really need more than 300 today, to be honest. So I'm going to target that liquidity I originally marked up here, because this is the liquidity from the previous higher time frame trend that we were looking at right here. This is the previous bounce that we had. So we could potentially pull back into this, break back down. If this thing's going to come down immediately, which it is very possible that it might come down immediately, to grab this bottom liquidity down here, it might just decide, hey, fuck it, let's move down. If that's the case, I'm going to get stopped out way earlier. So it's not a huge deal if I get stopped out for that 153. But I'm hoping that it will come up for this previous structure up here for that $317. Let me see what, actually, I might be able to get a better risk reward if I put it down here. What would this be? 91 and then target 200? Do I want to do that? Since I'm already in profit a decent amount today. I don't know. I have a feeling this is going to give me a bigger bounce down, but I might just see how far this move goes. Maybe if I get a 1 to 2 on 200, I'll trail it by candlesticks. But no. I'm going to put that down here. I want to see if this thing is going to blast itself up, because it should right here. I don't want to see a rejection. I do want to see this move a lot stronger upwards. This needs to blast up and continue its trend. Another kind of form of confluence, if you don't know what a confluence is, that basically is the chance a trade might work out. It adds to the percentage of a trade working out. We have this high, we have this low down here. This hit the 20% level or near the 20% level. My worry is this is always a possibility this could be grabbed. And so maybe I should keep this a little bit closer and just target that 1 to 2. I think I might do that. That's probably a safer trade instead of going for this 317, maybe target like 225. And then I'm only risking, that's about a 1 to 2.5, 2.2. 1 to 2, that's risking $100 to get 225, and the $25 is like taken away from the fees and commission. If that makes sense. I'm struggling to speak today. I'm so sorry, guys. I would play music, but for some reason it's given me 9 ads on Spotify. It's like they increase the ads by a significant amount. We'll see what this decides to do. If this thing decides it wants to work its way up, good. If this thing decides it wants to work its way down, that's okay. I do want $100 though. No, it won't give it to me. We broke above this. I don't love this rejection. I'm still going to trust by my strategy, but I don't love that rejection at all. Showing weakness here. You really want to see it after it forms this much consolidation right here. You want to see this thing blast up. But I'm going to hold it. I'm trying to get better at that, trying to stop getting scared out by confluences and stuff like that. So I'm going to hold this. Is stopping me out or not? Usually what I've been doing to manage my pulses is leaving the chart, like everyone always says, right? Don't look at the chart, especially if I don't have to live stream. If I'm not feeling like live streaming, I don't even have to do this. Or the other way is mitigating it by also that pattern, that trailing loss as well. That number up top should update if it wins or if it losses. I don't know. It's been having difficulties. Top Step's been a little bit stupid recently. Okay, can I have music now? Thank you. Oh my god. All right. But again, anyone has any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to answer. I'm not doing this full time, so just be aware of that. This is also not financial advice. This is more personal experience. Personal opinion. This is moving so slow. Why is the market moving so slow today? I need to see this break above this. We're creating highs and lows, right? So this is our high. Oh, did break above. That's good. This is our high right here. This is our low. So realistically, if this thing is going to reverse, I need to be careful. I should really move my stop loss up to below this high right here. But that takes away from the point if I'm doing market structure, because this is still all internal structure. So a lot of people would see that and say, oh, move it up. No, the reason why I said I should, but I'm not, is this is technically the high that we broke, right? Do you see any other structure that occurred right here? No, we didn't. We do not. This is the previous low before we broke this higher time frame move, and this is the previous high. So why would I put my stop loss right here when this is where we bounced off of? The only other place I would put it is I would put it right at break even, where we just bounced off right here, hoping that this move is going to give me an impulse to move upwards, which is not showing currently. Now, if it breaks above this, if this breaks above this high, right there, then I will move my stop to break even, because then I don't want to take the risk of this moving downwards, because it took out a previous high. If that makes any sense. Looks like it's hesitating here. It's not a good sign. Show me that strength, baby. Oh my god. It's 3 o'clock. I mean, we should get it. Yeah, there we go. There's that strength I want to see. Let's see how high this thing can go. I am going to move this to break even now. Below the structure. I'm going to trail this by 2 red candles as well. And just once I hit 1 to 2, it's trailed by 2 red candles on this time frame. So once I see 2 red candles in a row, I'm exiting. I'd like to see it quicker. Okay, let me get out.
Order filled.
There you go. Just trailing it at a 1 to 2. I know I said it probably will move up to that area I'm looking at. I gotta be careful because we still technically are moving down. Although we did reverse the general trend, and this probably, I can look for more trades on a smaller time frame and kind of scalp. This will probably give a retest as well before we move up to where I was looking at, which was up here. Above this area right here. It might not, though. But I'll take that. I'm not going to worry about it. Again, my original plan was for this liquidity up here. It might. Oh, the balance did update. There we go. It updated. Ooh. So I have one of 2 options. I could stay and trade longer or make this a short stream, and I'm going to let you guys decide, okay? Do you want this to be a short stream and just show you how I normally trade, which is 1 trade, looking at the market very quickly, call it a day, right? Or I can trade longer and show you why you lose money when you trade longer, because if that first loss, especially for someone who revenge trades himself, pretty bad, and that's why I had to put this stop loss limit. For anyone that needs to do that, by the way, anyone that needs to do that, on Top Step, go to this and go to personal daily loss limit, enable trailing, put whatever amount you're comfortable with losing that day, enable trailing, so that way you won't lose. If you win a trade 250, then every time you risk amount, it will update it. So for example, if I'm now trading this, the max I can lose 250 wise is being at 50,750 profit now. Okay, so just highly recommend that if you're a new trader, highly, or even if you're experienced trader who can analyze the market but struggles a lot with the emotions, right? Highly recommend it. Look what happened. We grabbed that liquidity. We're bouncing up. Like I said, I think we're moving to this liquidity, maybe even possibly higher up to here. Maybe not. We might reject here. This is the area, general area I was looking at. This was my higher end goal. I honestly, like, because I scalp, but if I was a longer term trader, that higher time frame level, and not only that, targeting around a 1.2 Fibonacci, where I have done the math. I've done the math. The average point where price rejects back into a trend before moving upwards or reversing is 1.22 of a Fibonacci level. So if you take a trade, and all I mean by that, I have back tested 250 trades, okay? Not back tested, forward tested 250 trades, sorry. What I mean by that is if you look at this Fibonacci, so the average to get the best risk to reward is around this 1.4 to 1, I don't know if you can see, this 1.4 to 1.6 level, okay? And your entry needs to be in the shaded zone, somewhere in the shaded zone to give you the best risk to reward and the best percentage of profit. The average area where price is going to reject before retesting back into a trend is 1.2. So this one didn't even make it to that 1.2, right? I don't think it did. I think it made it to 1.1, right? It didn't even make it to 1.1, but the average level is 1.21, somewhere around that. So if I take a trade and I put that as my average level, for example, let's say this is the move, right? We say we take a long trade right here because this is the previous price that bounced into it. We took a long trade around this level right here, grabbing the liquidity. If I mark on this, made it to a 1.2, made it to a 1.4, made it to a 1.5, right? Let me see if I could pull up the stats. Let me see if I could do that in the background for you guys. Give me 1 second. Here you go to my other profile. I'm going to show you the last updated one. I had to switch it over. This is the one I have. I'll show you the statistics of this. I don't know if you can see. Let's see if I can. Can you see this? This is the statistics. So percentage in 0.20 that is deep and choppy. So this shows you the average Fibonacci retest and a structure that breaks its high, okay? So this is only for structures that are breaking high. So you need to know if price, first of all, analyze the higher time frame trend to know if price is going to break up, okay? So the median lowest in Fibonacci is 0.30. The median average lowest in Fibonacci is 0.32. So that means this is where price will break down to and then break back off of, okay? So this is the median. So that means the most frequent, most frequent points. These are the percentages of where price comes back into. All right. So 25% comes at or below 0.20 of the Fibonacci level. 0.21 to 0.35 is 34. So that's why my range is 0.20 to 0.35, okay? And then 0.36, 25. And then a 0.5 to 0.8 is 15.8. That means the trend itself is clean. And then we can look right here, average highest out Fibonacci. Oh, that actually updated. Oh, highest out Fibonacci. So that means before it breaks the low is 1.476. Median highest out Fibonacci is 1.36. So it actually updated with the more I added. I haven't checked the statistics. So percentage, when you know the specific trend, if you could identify the higher time frame trend, okay, this is first of all, identify the higher time frame trend. The percentage of trades that break above 1.5 Fibonacci is 76%. That hit 2.0 of a Fibonacci is 57%. Let me put this in the context. If you enter at the 0.5 Fibonacci level, you put a limit order at the 0.5 Fibonacci level, you hit 2.0, that's a 1 to 4. So risking $100, getting $400 back. You only need a 18% win rate to get that. 76 if you enter at the 0.3 Fibonacci, 0.35 Fibonacci to 1.5, that's roughly a little bit more than a 1 to 4. Same exact win rate. If you enter at the 0.25 to 0.2, that's a 1 to 5. So you need $100 to get 500. That means you only have to be right 15% of the time. If the market's in a trending market, for example, we know this is trending up. I know my Fibonacci levels are here. The majority of the time, I can enter a trade from within the zone, preferably grabbing liquidity, okay, because that's where it has a stronger bounce. Within the zone with a low below here, targeting up here to the 1.5 level, right? So that's a 0.3. So let me go to a 0.2. 0.25 is right here. Getting a 1 to 5. So if I'm right 25% of the time, I'm profitable. So if I would have taken that trade, okay, let's look back. Higher time frame trend. We want to see a clean price action where we're moving. Okay, I see clean price. Wow, that came out very Southern. Jesus. I see clean price action moving up right here. Right, we can obviously tell this is a clean movement. I wouldn't take a trade here. That's not clean movement. Here is clean movement. Okay, so if I go back to the 500 time frame right here. Oh, I can already see that we're breaking out of this previous structure that we saw right here, right? We broke out. Okay, cool. We're moving upwards. Oh, I don't see any trades. This thing sucks. My strategy sucks, right? Oh, but then all of a sudden we get a high. We get a low. Oh, but then we create a lower low. And we know we're bullish on the higher time frame, right? We're moving upwards on the higher time frame. Okay, cool. Well, let me draw this Fibonacci level. Oh, we know that there's a order block roughly right here. Let's put a limit order right here. So we enter a limit buy because let's say this is the area zone, main zone within this previous price action, this previous area that we're looking at within here, right? Let's enter a limit order, long position with my stop loss below the structure. And again, this is strong. Why? We've already grabbed liquidity. We grabbed liquidity twice, not one time, but 2 times while being in a strong bullish trend, a strong trend moving upwards, right? On the higher time frame, whatever your high time frame is. Look, on this higher time frame, we see a strong move already that has broken above this area. And not only that, let me give you another confluence for confluence, again, adding to the percentage of the trades, okay? We have this fair value gap. And not only that, we're holding this fair value gap. So this is the gap that I look at for my alternative trading strategy. We're holding this. We're not breaking down. So we're not showing weakness to where we might have a retest. So then we can go back to this trade. I know this is a lot of stuff, but if you watch this back, it will help you out tremendously. I promise you. Do what I say. Don't do as I do. Okay. But we have the strong trend, right? And then look what happens. Okay, we have the strong trend. I can see instantly, even if I'm back here, even if I can only see this part right here, these candles right here, I can see we broke that trend. We have reversed the trend direction. Okay, cool. We have reversed the trend direction. I want to enter this trade somewhere in here. Somewhere where this order block is, if you trade order blocks, okay? Somewhere around this area. Well, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to set it in my zone that I've already marked. Take that buy. And then if I take my buy at that 0.35 level, I'm targeting a 1.5 level. Okay. 0.35 is a 3.55 return. $100 get $355 back. Okay. Not including fees or commission. So roughly around $325, $330 back. Not only that, But if I took a trade here, right? And if I look back to here, if you want to add any more, if you have balls of steel and like holding trades for some reason, right? Not only that, but I can see, okay, well, I have this 0.6, but look what I have over here. We have nothing that's holding us from moving higher around this area. Okay, cool. Well, then what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to hold this trade as high as I possibly can with giving me the biggest return. So then if I look back, I can see, okay, well, cool. I can hold this trade to here if I want to be automated. So let's trail my take profit if that's part of your strategy, okay? So what would this be? What would this risk reward be? Let me see. I think that's a 1 point. That's a 2.0. Okay, cool. That's the max of what I would take the trade to. So let me just draw something, a 2.0. So that hits a 1 to 2, okay? The max area I want to go. But okay, cool. So let me delete that. So since that hits a 1 to 2, and we know this trend is strong, right? You have to be able to identify how strong your trend is. How likely is it going to retest from where you're currently at? That takes a lot of experience. I'm not even there yet fully, I'll be honest. But let's say we take this trade and we target that. Now we get a 1.5. 1 to 3.5, because this, just by analyzing both the higher time frame and the lower time frame market, we get a clearer picture of where the price is going, right? So we get a clearer picture. Okay, now if I'm in a different market, for example, right here, right? Do you remember what I was saying earlier about, okay, yes, this is still a strong trend, we're still moving upwards, but this is not as clean. This is my higher time frame I'm looking at. So since it's my higher time frame, I need to be very aware that this price could potentially, right? Because we're not moving, we haven't broken structure and we're not moving upwards. This could potentially come down, grab this liquidity right here, continue upwards, or grab this down here. And why are these both liquidity? We don't have any structure it's retested back into, right? We have not retested back into this structure. We have not retested back into this higher time frame structure right here, right? We have not retested any of those. So I got to be a little bit more cautious. Yes, we're on a strong trend upwards, but we are consolidating. So I need to make sure I don't try to target this higher time frame level. Don't try to target this 1 to 2, which you could still. You still could, and it still would give you a good risk reward. Or if I do, I need to make sure to analyze the lower time frame market and track my price action. So track my highs and lows. So we had this high. We have this low. So this is where we broke that high and low. So now we have this high and low, and we have not retested past this. So this would still where this is still where my stop loss would be maintained currently. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that helps out for whoever's still watching. Now, if you watch any of my streams, you'll see the higher time frame, especially when I'm trading on a 20-second with a long time to analyze. I struggle. I don't do well sometimes. And that's why this pattern limit loss is a godsend for me. It's helped my trading majorly. I can't revenge trade. And that is what's been killing me financially. This is revenge trading. Absolutely detrimenting my accounts. And I'm going to be completely for real. Past few months have been horrid. Really bad for me. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Let me show you an example right here. Look, let's look at the 5,000. We broke above this, but now we're showing weakness right here, right? We didn't show the continuation. We don't have a fair value gap. So if I'm looking at this, I can assume, okay, we're showing this weakness. Let's see how this reacts. Let's see how it reacts off the structure right here. We can potentially grab this liquidity and continue upwards. But if if that's going to happen, what do I want to see here? I want to see either this break down, break up, retest, break up higher, right? That's one option. Or I want to see my strategy come out of play. So I want to see a fair value gap hold right here. So we can see those two things. I would like to see one of those two things happen. We come down, we grab this liquidity right here. We have the price action high right here. We grab this high up here. We break the structure. Cool. Then I can look for an entry. Break structure, retest, back in, break up higher. We grab this liquidity down here. Okay, cool. I want to look for a reversal. So then I need to wait for my confirmation to move up here and then retest back down and then move up. Okay, so it's the same exact entry, except I can look for my entry down here, this liquidity with one of my strategies, or look at the other way with my strategy up here.
Wait, something's missing.
All right. You guys there? Anyone awake? Hello? Hello? No one there? Okay, well, I'm going to be alone then. I'm just joking, guys. Hopefully any of this helps. If even a single person watches this afterwards, I really hope it helps them. It's been a struggle for me for 6 years. It is a huge goal of mine. I'm not going to give up. I am addicted still. I'm just glad I'm addicted in the right way. Beforehand, I was addicted in a wrong way, impulse trading. And before that, I was addicted at switching strategies. I'm very impulsive, for anyone that wonders. That's why you see me move my screen around. Yeah, that's why you see my move my screen around a lot. I will be live a lot more during summer. I have no classes for May, and then during my this is for my doctorate program. No classes for May, and then I have classes for spring. I mean, I do have classes during what is it? Summer, but they're not in person, they're virtual. So I will be live a lot more on this trading. A lot more. Just during the semester, it's difficult for me because of class schedules, work, everything like that. Let me see where this is. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out how the screen looks a little bit more to try to look a little better. At least on the live stream where you just have it up and you're not clicking on it. So give me 1 second. I'm just editing it. Oh, not this thing again. No. And then this Whatnot thing, I use Whatnot a lot. Is my favorite app. I'm not sponsored. This is just an invite code for my personal Whatnot. It's free way if you do want to support the time I'm spending into this. You can. I don't really care that much about it though. It's free. You can join. You get the $10 free that you can spend on purchases. At least that's what it says. I can't verify that fully. So, hmm. Let's see. How small does this thing have to be? I could do this. I could put this right here. Hmm. Where should I put this? I might just take away my icon, dude. I'm gonna be honest. This thing does not need to be here. Let's see if that looks better. No. No, it does not look better at all. Let me move this down. Do I like that better? I think I do. Okay. Really shouldn't be doing this right now while the screen's while I'm trading, but it's the easiest way for me to see how it looks on my end. Okay, move this over right a little bit. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Sorry, I know this is a little bit annoying for everyone. Oh, that actually looks good because it pops up right above my icon. Okay, and then let me get that picture back up. There we go. Okay, do you guys think it would look better on bottom right or bottom on top right? Nah, I'm gonna do this down here. See if that looks any better. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot better. I think it looks a little bit better, at least on the my phone feed. I don't know what it looks like on computer feed, but my phone feed it looks better. Perfect. Okay. Hello. Hey, there we go. All right, let me get back to trading. This didn't end up showing a trade here, so that's okay. We did grab a higher time frame structure right here. Let me go to the 1000. That might be clear. That did not grab that on 1000. I need to draw a little link here. Little line right here. So this did create a gap right here. This would be part of my strategy, grabbing liquidity, even though we're strong. So I would only target that 1 to 2, grabbing liquidity, looking for a retest back into this gap right here. Stop loss above the high, target a 1 to 2, or back into the previous structure, one or the other. Could have done previous structure. Price did or did not. It did not or did. It did retest back into the gap, but it would have been something that's more iffy. I don't know if I would have taken that one. But hmm. Hmm. Okay, I might just delete this, to be honest. I don't really need that image. Or if I am going to use this image, I can move it down. No, don't like it there. I like that there. Kind of blends in with my background, right? Slightly? No? Good enough. All right, and then I need to center this. This needs to be centered. I might be able to make it bigger. See how that looks. Oh, hey, look at this. Should have probably taken this trade. Yeah, definitely should have probably taken this trade. Hit an order block right here. Retest it back into it, moving up or higher. Target that 1 to 2, 1 to 4, 1 to 6. Control might take profit here. It's not a great setup, I'll be honest, looking at it a little bit more. Let me look at the higher time frame before I would consider this. See how the higher time frame looks. Showing a lot of strength and showing weakness right here. Immediate weakness. No, I would not enter that. I don't like the red candle there. Okay. All right, and Whatnot's an app, guys. Think of it as TikTok trading. I mean, TikTok for buyers, for sellers and buyers. You can get some pretty good prices if you know where to look. There's also a few scammers, so just be careful on there. Okay, let's look here. Created a lower low right here. I mean, not a lower low. Retesting right here. We failed to break above the gap right here. Failed to close above this. So we're moving down, coming down for this liquidity, most likely, maybe even, probably even further. So that's the first line. You know, you could potentially see a rejection off here if you wanted to. This is the 0.2. Again, I don't like the higher time frame trend here, so I would personally not take a trade here. But you might be able to, you might choose to. That's your decision. It does give a setup. I think this is a setup, right? It's 1 pip. That holds right here, which it's not. It is, it's not. It's not. Like I said, I think it's coming down for that liquidity since we didn't break straight above that, this minor structure right here. We didn't hold and we didn't confirm right there. I think it's breaking below the liquidity. But if I see an entry, if I see a change of structure, I might be tempted to take a trade. Currently, the change of structures right here. I need to see a break above this. And I want to see a retest back down into it. If this doesn't give me an entry, which I'm only going to give partial, I'm going to do a partial sizing here since I'm up and I really want to end the month. I mean, end the week, this amount, because I'm on track for passing the challenge without having to repay for it. So we did break above this minor structure, so I want to see a retest back down into this and then it hold. You can see where it's lining up. Lines up pretty strong. Anywhere within this trend is what I'm looking at. So I'm going to put a limit order roughly into it. A limit buy for 4 contracts. Let me see where is it not giving me an automatic risk? Should be giving me an automatic risk. We broke up higher. We failed to break up, but this thing's coming straight up. Straight up. I'm not even exaggerating about this. These things coming straight up from there. Hit the 0.2, reversed off the 0.2, created a higher high. We didn't get the entry for that limit buy. That's okay. I might still look for it if it holds, but the entry is going to be a little bit different. Oh, it hits directly at that point too. I gotta do it. I gotta put a limit buy right here. At least for 4 contracts. I don't know why this isn't automatically putting me in this trade. If this comes back down though, this is definitely my entry. If it continues up from here, oh well, I'm not getting the entry. If it breaks above this high, I'm just going to exit it and bite my bullet and call it a day. Call it a stream, guys. Okay, it breaks above. Let's call it a stream. I mean, we still technically did not break enough in. .8. We did. No, we didn't. Oh no, I feel like it's going to be a liquidity setup here, and I'm still somewhat tempted to take this entry. I don't know what 4 contracts is risking me, but whatever it is risking me, I'm still going to enter it, I think. I like the setup. Let me look at the... Ooh, do I like this setup? Maybe I do not like this setup. I don't think I like the setup. I don't like the higher time frame structure here. Don't like it one bit. This is like a 50-50 chance for me. Like, this is something where I might be tempted. I'm very tempted, but I know there's high odds that this moves down, so I need to see more confluence than what I'm saying. I'm gonna enter with just a small position to see if it works out. I think that's what I want to do.
Order filled.
I just want to see if it would have worked out. I'm only risking $17 on this. I'm fine with only risking 17. What am I up right now? 51.09. Okay, yeah. Let's see if this would have worked out. It's coming pretty far down into this trend. I don't think it would. I do not think one bit it would have worked out, but we'll see. I think I would have gotten stopped out if I took this fully.
Order filled.
Yes, I would. Okay. Makes me feel a little bit better. I took that with like literally $17, guys. That's not... Just if it works out, I get an extra 50. If it doesn't, I don't. Okay. 500. But now I can see this. This is a trade if this holds. Retest down.
Order filled.
Limit buy. Two contracts. This should quickly move up to here. It should, since we're in such a strong trend, this thing should break up all the way. Could reverse right here since we created a new low, but we did grab the liquidity. Gave me a perfect setup here. I'm willing to, honestly, $37. I'm willing to take a 1 to 2 here. 76. I entered a little bit late on this setup, so maybe it'll give me an additional entry where I'm risking $50. Then I'll be up $900. I'll be up $1,050 today if it retests. And I'm gonna call it a day after this, guys. My balance should update, right? That's not accurate. Honestly, if this is gonna move up, it's gonna move up higher. I want $100 at least. If this thing's gonna move up, it's gonna move up higher than I'm expecting. I want it at least up to here. I'm gonna be greedy for this. I don't care about losing $30, to be honest. I would prefer to get something significant out of nothing. Now, if it comes back and taps that 1 to 2, then yeah, I'll target a 1 to 2. But for currently right now, if this thing decides it wants to move directly up, then yeah, I'm going for that $130. I might not stay for this whole thing. I don't feel like sitting here for another 15 minutes. But we'll see. We'll see if this gives me a setup.
Order filled.
Let's see if this works out. Okay, I'm targeting a 1 to 2 now. 140. Crap. Don't want to accidentally drag that. 140.52 for fees and commissions, you know. Gotta deal with that. Honestly, if it's going to come up, it's going to come up to here. If it's going to stop me out, it's going to stop me out down here. We are bearish on the higher time frame. So this strategy has a higher chance of failing. But we are bullish in terms of the momentum that we're having, so that's why. I'm not loving this, though. Not loving how quickly clean this is moving down. I need to see some sort of reversal, please.
Order filled.
Yeah, that sucks. GG's, guys. Have a good night. I'm up $50,900 today. I'm going to end it there. All right. Talk with you later.